liked the setup late because you're gonna get to see where your guys are at. Where do you feel they're at right now after this performance?
Well, I think as a team, we wrestled better than we've wrestled all year. We hope to see that at the end, towards the end, and I think that most of the matches that were kind of critical and didn't know which way it was going, it looked like we kind of took it over in the second period, middle of it, rather than waiting towards the end. We kind of took control a little bit in the second, and that was the difference in the outcome.
You were there for Montesmith and Santana. Was it as loud when Nick pinned Lee as it was when you were a kid? That
Well, remember that was Gallagher Hall, and that was a
smaller venue, but still.
yeah.
pretty
It's
loud.
like being in a tunnel. It's pretty loud. Yeah. All I can remember is my feet vibrating. I was 12 years old. I was the towel boy.
Did it vibrate today at all?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Coach, you're tied up and had 4 seniors finish the duel with victories on senior day. Can you just talk about them and what they've meant to this program and
Well,
today's performance?
you always hate to see seniors go, but this is a group that been really, really good for the team and the people around them. Not just in the sport of wrestling, but as individuals, they're good people, and they've really rubbed off on a lot of the younger guys, and that's what you hope for. You hope you build a culture, and that culture's tough first, right? And also being good people and good students, and so it's going to be hard to see those guys go, but they darn sure. It's a great feeling for them to be able to leave with a win like this as they go on into their careers.
You started today exactly as you would want to start any field day, but I mean, to like double the energy level of the room, and not to mention, I'm sure your guys. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better beginning, could you?
No, and I don't think you expect that. You didn't expect that, and that's even something that makes it even bigger. It's you go out and you create action. I thought he did a good job after the escape, putting the pressure on immediately. Something that he hadn't been doing, and put himself in position to find a pin and move, and then putting him away. It's one thing about putting a guy to his back; it's another thing about pinning you. So you got to give Nick credit. No question that he was definitely started us off in a way that you look to start off in big dual meets.
You guys celebrated with a lot of emotion. Did you like the way they wrestled? Did they have the same kind of emotion when they were on the mat itself?
I think so. We just, I thought in a lot of the matches, even in a couple that we got beat, I liked what I saw at 57. I think he can grow from that. It just seemed, gave up a takedown, a couple takedowns easy, but stayed in the match and kind of clawed it out. Looked for a reversal at the end, picked it up. So you like, if you're going to lose, you want to see, us finish the period or finish the match. And we finished the match with a reversal, a breakdown, and trying to get a turn.
At 133, it was like both guys are so technically masterful that, usually one guy could wait for the other to make a mistake, but there weren't any mistakes in that one. I mean, and as it turned out, no nonsense. Just strictly, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the way you expected it now that you?
Sometimes you don't know, how the match is going to go, but what you do need to know is that your guy's going to be aggressive, and he's going to go out and he's going to look for points, and in the middle of the second, he's not going to fade, or the late in the third, he's not, So one thing that we have with Dayton, he's going out to wrestle, and as a freshman, it's good to know that. That's the toughest weight in the country by far, and it's the deepest I've ever seen any weight ever in my coaching career. It's as deep as any weight I've ever seen.
Coach, what was the explanation on the waved off takedown in that match at 133, and what did you see there?
Well, let's just pass on that. Gotta be a little careful what I say. Do I think it was two? I believe it was two. Guy hit his hip, got our hands locked. But you got to be prepared. I think Dayton's prepared that they may not give it to him, you know, so it's good to see him finish out that period, especially the third period on top.
125, was there any hesitation choosing bottom? Was that something you guys thought about? Obviously Spencer's really good on top.
Listen, you wrestle a defending national champion, I don't think you have the luxury to not choose bottom, you know, so, I mean, you can't give up that point in big matches, you know, so, I don't think we ever hesitated. We didn't even talk about it this week. I think Nick knows my opinion on it, and he probably got ready to go on bottom.
Coach, what went in the decision at 65 and 74 bumping Chandler up today?
Well, we had a sick wrestler, you know, that probably couldn't have wrestled today. It wouldn't have been much if he did. That was Joseph. You know, nothing that should last longer than 2 or 3 days, but you know, in the end, we just made a decision. Actually, yesterday, late last night, that Chandler was going to move up, and we were going to insert one of our seniors in at 65.
You've talked before about how he's one of the best you've coached at getting guys on their back. On senior day, gets a pin. Just how fitting is that?
He's a pinner, you know. You know, in a time that probably needed the pin. You know, you just need something to turn around. They won 49-57 and got a pin at 65. Somebody's got to step out and turn it around. You know, in dual meets and big dual meets that are going to be competitive, you could get on that losing streak, and maybe, you know, I didn't expect to lose at 49. You know, I mean, we had 3 guys step out and had great wins, and then all of a sudden we lost at 49. You know, so it's always in dual meets, it's the guy that always turns the dual meet around. I think that's what Chandler did for us.
A lot of hype, John, on this meet, and then when the guys get here, the crowd's fantastic. Do you ever worry about maybe too much excitement out of your guys, that they try to meet those expectations and that hype? And if so, how do you think they handled the environment?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just
Just the hype, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
the week, during the
Right,
week.
right, and
Well,
they-
you know, we're wrestling, we gotta do that. We gotta do things to put people in the stands. We gotta remind people when our matches are, you know. We just gotta deal with that, you know. And we'll continue to have to deal with it. You know, we're gonna build up hype, and we're gonna put people in the stands, and when we have a chance to do it, you gotta do things as a coach to create that environment, and sometimes it may not be the best scenario for you, but hey, you know, our guys are pretty tough, you know, from the standpoint of, you know, dealing with, you know, hype or expectation.
Coach, what can we expect to see moving into postseason at like 65, 74, or 84 with your lineup?
You need to ask me in about 7 days. So,
How are you guys gonna go about determining that? Wrestle offs or
you need to ask me in 7 days. Yeah. You know, so, you know, just kind of keep in mind, you know, I think people, you know, we got, when you look at the rankings, you know, 65 right now, 74, probably not even, at this time, not even predict to be an All-American. I think our rankings are below 8. So, you know, I mean, we're gonna we need to go with the guy that can score some team points, you know. So we'll see how it goes.
The Rogers outcome was critical, but I mean, that Jacoby Smith comes out and does what he does. I mean,
Well,
I
remember,
guess a lot of guys will get a game ball, but it seems like
Remember-
to sustain the momentum, I guess.
yeah, and I think with people, you know, remember Jacoby had to weigh in at 179 pounds today too, so minus 5 pounds from 84. You wouldn't think that's a whole lot, but it really is in wrestling, you know. And so that's even more impressive what he's capable to do and what he did today. You know, he's going to drop on down to 74. He will be our 74 pounder going into postseason. You know, so he's a tough guy. You know, gives this team a lot of reasons to watch closely, and you know, want to mimic him. You know.
Well, they didn't get any back points with Preston. Is it a case where you're feeling he's getting back comfortable with how dominant he was on top?
You know, it was a good match for Preston, you know, from the standpoint of what this guy's gone through, you know, I mean, you know, in his career, there's so many reasons to, you know, look past wrestling and say, oh, I'm gonna move on, you know, the number of injuries he's had and had to deal with personally, you know, just would give him an easy out, you know, but he's kind of just dug deep and has found himself back in the lineup, and he's healthy right now, and whatever he can do for us is gonna be big.
Thanks, Coach.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.